Okay, the recording has been started. Let me share my screen. Okay, please confirm if my screen is visible. I am audible. Everyone? Am I audible? Okay then. So let's get it started. Okay. So let us do a quick recap about class 23. So yesterday we were discussing about what? We know Java is platform independent programming language, right? But the question is going to be about JDK, JRE, and JVM. Okay, we would get a question like this: if JDK, JRE, and JVM are platform dependent softwares, why they are platform dependent? When Java is platform independent, when Java is platform independent language, why does the JDK, JRE, and JVM or platform dependent software? Okay, there is a contradiction, right? So to make it clear, you need to explain them. Okay, so what is that explanation? So what is JDK? JDK is going to stand for Java Development Kit, right? And it is a platform dependent. Why it is a platform dependent? Because when you install software, when you install Java software, it is going to ask you on which operating system you want to install. Okay, so the question is very specific: on which operating system you want to install. Okay, there are some list of operating systems. So when you're using Windows and Mac, Solaris, Unix, Linux, so many operating systems are listed out, and you have to choose the operating system that you want to work on, right? So it is very specific to the operating system. So by that we can conclude that it is a platform. JDK is a platform dependent software, right? And also JDK, the further explanation, if you want to put it in uh, little more words, you can use things like this. Right? You can say like this. So for JDK, only if you want to write Java program, if you want to perform the compilation, and also if you want to perform the execution. If you want to perform all these three operations: writing, compilation, and execution, you choose JDK. Usually JDK will be chosen by programmers, or what, the Java developers or Java learners, right? So this is the conclusion that you can give. It is called as the platform dependent software because one has to specifically download the software with respect to the operating system. For each and every OS we have a dedicated JDK, right? So this is the complete high level diagram about the Java software. Okay, inside Java software you find what? You find JDK. JDK is standing for Java Development Kit, and inside Java Development Kit there is JRE, and there are some developing tools, right? You can also answer this. JRE is part of JDK. Just by looking at this diagram, you can answer. So Java software is going to contain JDK, and JRE is part of JDK. Okay, you can uh, make some sentences just by looking at this diagram, right? And what is JRE? So JRE is an acronym for Java Runtime Environment. If developers are using JDK, the clients, okay, the clients are the customers, they are going to use what? They are going to use JRE because for them they don't develop, they don't take care of about the developing part, right? You as a programmer, you develop, you compile, and you execute, okay, and you share the .class file through the internet to your client. Okay, you share the .class file through the internet over the internet to the client. So this client is going to use your .class file just for the execution. Client, they are going to just run the application. To run the application, .class file is enough because they are not going to develop an application. If they are capable of developing an application, they can do the development as well as they can execute at the same time. Why they will approach companies, isn't it? So clients, they just need JRE to just test the application, to just run the application. So I can say that please be informed that JRE is a platform dependent software. Even to download JRE, okay, it is specific to platform. When I say platform, it is specific to very specific to operating system. For each and every platform, you have the dedicated JRE, right? And also you can say JRE as JVM and other predefined libraries. If you see here, right, and you have Java runtime environment. Inside this, you have Java virtual machine as well as some predefined libraries, rt.jar and other files, right? So after this, what we have discussed? We have discussed about JVM. JVM is an acronym for Java Virtual Machine. It is just to execute .class files. Apart from that, nothing else. It is present inside JRE. Right? When you see, okay, inside Java runtime environment, there is a part called JRE. JVM. Inside JRE, you have JVM and other files, right? And it is used by clients as well as company. Both they are going to use this. This is also platform dependent software. Inside JVM, you're going to have class loaders, garbage collectors, and JIT compiler, right? And also yesterday we have discussed about the execution part, right? We have discussed about how to activate the Java tool to perform the execution, right? As soon as you perform the activation, this command prompt is going to look for the .class file in 3 locations. In first is the current location. Second, it will try to find in the predefined libraries. Third one, it is going to find in the environment variables. Only if the class is found, the .class file is found, it will load the .class file to the JVM. It will load the .class file to the JVM, and the main thread will be created. And again, main thread is going to do 2 operations. What is this? First job is to find the main method. Second job to execute all the instructions inside the main method. Right? If there is no main method, you are going to get this error. Right? If inside, if you're loading a .class, if you're not placing any method, you will get this kind of error in the runtime. So not this one. Okay, main method not found, something like that. I think it has been missed here. Okay, today we will see some more examples, and we will start about Java fundamentals. Okay, this is just a recap, right? So let me give you some examples today. Now you tell me, I will give you some focus here. Okay, let us say that I have something like I have class A, right? And I have class B. Okay. Now you tell me with respect to compilation, okay, is it valid or invalid with respect to compilation? If I try to perform the compilation by using command like Java C space B dot Java. Okay. I am saving this file as B dot Java. After this, I am trying to perform the compilation. Okay, is this command is valid or invalid with respect to compilation? Come on, everyone, unmute and speak. Hello. Have you understood? Have you understood my question? How many persons are actually there? Purnima, Prasanna, Monica, Sudhir, Lakshmi. Valid or invalid? Okay, you have already answered this. Okay, Purnima says invalid, and some people are saying it as a valid. Okay, let me answer this for you. Okay, always remember, okay, if we have 2 classes, try to identify the classes. Okay, the first class is of what type? Default class. First class is default class, and the second class is what? Second class, you can call it as public class because you are using the public keyword. So this could be identified like public class. Okay. What is the first rule? Always you have to ensure that you have to store with the .java extension with the public class name. b.java means this one is valid. You are saying you are saving the source code according to the rule. Okay, this is completely valid, and you are performing the compilation. So this is going to be completely valid. You will understand? Right, now the second question. Okay, second question, I am placing the main method here. Inside the class A, I have main method, public static void main. Okay, string array aux. Right, now I am saving this file as b.java. Okay, I am performing the compilation like Java C space b.java. Okay, I am performing the execution like Java space B. Okay, now you tell me this. Please unmute and talk. Is this valid or invalid? Saving convention is valid or invalid? Everyone.
Invalid. Valid.
Who is saying invalid? Who is saying valid? Okay.
Invalid.
Okay, so someone is saying invalid. Let me tell you. So we are saving this. Okay, we are saving this as per the rule. What is the rule? you have to save the file name with the public class name. So B is the public class, right? So B is public class. So you are not violating any rule. There is no violation here. This is completely valid. Second one is for the compilation, okay, you are using the public class name. It is also completely valid. Okay, now you tell me Java space P for this execution, it is going to be invalid. Why for the execution it is going to be invalid? When you try to execute what you are trying to perform the execution on B class, but inside the B class there is no main method. Okay, always ensure that it's your responsibility to load the dot class file which has main method. Okay, always remember for compilation the rule, just remember this simple rule. For compilation, just try to save it with the public class file name. If you're not finding public class, you can save it in any class name, no issues. But once you find the public class, okay, it should be as the public class name for the compilation. For the execution, always remember to load the dot class file which has the main method. This is a thumb rule. Okay, having said this, why we have to repeat all this? You should recap my videos and you should do some practice, or else you will forget all these things. Okay, now you tell me. I have public class C and I have another public class C. Okay, I have written this code in a notepad. Okay, is this valid or invalid?
Invalid.
Invalid. Why? Because why it is invalid? Because you cannot have more than one public class. At most you can have only one public class in a Java file. You cannot place more than one public class. So this is going to be invalid. Okay, the last question. Okay, this is also an interview question. Let us say that I have 3 classes. Everyone focus here. This is something important. I didn't teach you yesterday. I'm telling you all the possible combinations. Okay, so for the execution, let us say that I have class A, I have class B, okay, I have class C, and I am placing main methods in all the classes. Public static void main string array aux. Okay, so inside the class A there is one main method, inside class B there is one main method, and inside class 3 there is one main method. So totally I have taken 3 classes. Inside each and every class I have placed a main method. I am doing this wantedly. Okay, now what happens? Now you tell me. So since I have 3 classes, how many dot class files will be produced if I perform the compilation? First of all, tell me how I can name this. Anyone, can you help me with that? How I can save this Java file? How can I save this code as a Java file? Can I save this like a dot? Which one is valid? A dot Java or B dot Java or C dot Java? Which one is valid here? Okay, I can take anything is valid. I can take any name. I can choose any name because all the 3 classes are default class. Okay, so I would like to choose a dot Java. I would like to choose a dot, and also I can also write my own name without even class name. I can write any other name. I can choose any other name because there is no public class. If there is no public class, you can choose any one of the class names, or else you can choose your own name for the saving convention. Always remember, if there is no public class, you can choose any name. It can be the class names or it can be any other name. Okay, but I want to choose this one. I want to choose a.java. Okay, now I am performing the compilation. Compiler is coming into the picture. Okay, you have the compiler. To activate the compiler, what is the command? Command has to be what? Java C space a.java. Java C space a.java. The moment you do this, okay, this a.java file will get inside the compiler, and compiler will perform what? Compilation. Okay, this is valid because according to the name you have said, it is going to check the all the errors or the possible errors. Compiler will get activated. It will check each and everything. Okay, it will check for syntax errors and semantic errors. If everything is fine, okay, it will generate dot class files. Now the question: how many dot class files will be generated? How many dot class files will be generated? Very simple. You have three classes, so three dot class files will be generated. This is class A, class B, and class C. Okay, so since you have three classes in your Java file, you can expect three dot class files. What is it? A dot Java, A dot class, B dot class, and C dot class. Three dot class files will be generated and it will be placed inside a bucket, a kind of bucket. Okay, production. Three dot class files has been produced. Okay, so compilation is successful. Compilation is successful. Next thing is what? Next thing is execution. For execution, JVM comes into the picture. So you have the JVM here. Okay, what is the command for the execution? Simple command. Just use Java. You can write any file name. Any should be what? You have only three classes. Okay? A dot class, B dot class, and C dot class. You can give any name here. You can load any dot class file. Only at any point of time, only one dot class file will be loaded manually. Okay? The moment if you are giving a Java space A, okay, the main thread will be created. Okay, before even creating the main method, okay, you are trying to load the a dot class file. Okay, inside a class, okay, the control will be JVM will try to look inside the a class and it will see is there any main method inside. Main method is there, so this is going to be valid only. This is going to be valid the moment you specify Java space A. What does it really mean? Okay, a dot class will be loaded inside the JVM. Okay, now the JVM will interact with the code. JVM will interact with the code. Is there any main method inside this class A? Okay, what is the rule? While execution, there should be the main method inside the dot class file that you are loading. This main method is there. It will start performing the execution. Main thread will be created. Okay, and this main thread will get access to the main method, and all the instructions inside the main method will be executed. Okay, empty will be created. It will get access to the main method. Okay, all instructions inside the main method get executed. The question is, you are loading a dot class file that should have main method. It is not like you can place any number of main method, no issues. Still, it is valid. In this case, I can choose any one of this. I can choose Java space A, or even I can choose Java space B. This is also valid because inside the B class also there is a main method, right? And even I can choose Java space C. This is also valid because inside the C class also I have a main method. Right? But I cannot do like this. I cannot do something like Java space Balaji because there is no such Balaji class here. There is no such Balaji dot class files here because these class files are specific to the number of classes that you are placing in the Java code. Able to understand, everyone? Okay, so this is the part of execution. Yesterday we have discussed this. Let me remove all this. Remove all this. Okay. Let us complete this with small theory. Then we will start discussing about Java fundamentals. Focus here, guys. Execution. Execution. Okay. Please be informed that Java tool. So there is a tool called Java tool. There is a tool called Java tool is available in the JDK, Java Development Kit, which is used to perform the execution. So there is a tool called Java tool. Okay, Java. If you read Java, you can read this. You have to read it as a tool when you are using it in the command prompt. When you are using this Java in the command prompt, so you are reading it as a Java tool. It's not a Java language. It is a tool that is available in JDK. Okay, and what you have to do, okay, in order to perform the execution, in order to perform the execution, you will have to choose what? You will have to choose Java tool, everything in lowercase. Java tool, followed by the dot class file name, that you dot class file name which has the main method. That's the main, right? So the Java, so the syntax is like, so you will have the directory. Okay, this is the syntax. Java space dot class file name of the dot class file which has the main method. Which has the main method. As the main method, which is very important. If you're not placing, if you are loading a dot class file that has no main method, you will get an error. Okay, we have seen those things yesterday. Okay. Now next question is, next answer is above command. What it will do? The above command will ensure that dot class file of main method, dot class file will be loaded. Dot class file will be loaded into the JVM. After the loading, what are the things that is going to happen inside the JVM? Okay, the main thread will be created by the JVM. The main thread will be created by the JVM. What is the second thing? The main thread will try to get access to the main method. Get access to the main method. So what is the third thing? All the instructions inside the main method will get executed. All the instructions inside the main method will get executed. Okay, and the point to be noted. At any point of time, only one dot class files can be loaded by the programmer inside the JVM. At any point of time, only one dot class file would be loaded by the programmer inside the JVM to perform the execution. This is all about execution, guys. So we have completed about installation, we have completed about compilation. So today I have given the complete picture about execution. Actually also we have discussed about execution, but I forgot this theory. That's why I'm mentioned this theory today. Okay, now today we are going to see something like what the Java language fundamentals. We are getting into the Java program, Java language fundamentals. We pay some attention here. Java language fundamentals. Okay, let me help you with a small analogy. I like this analogy very much. Okay, what is that analogy? Let me show that for you. Where is that class? Okay, so what you see here, you see an house, right? A beautiful house. Let's focus here. So we will just understand this with the Java language fundamentals with this simple analogy. Okay. So when you want to construct an house, okay, so what are the things that we need to take care before even constructing an house? The first important thing is, okay, you should have a land, right? You will be focusing on a land. Only when you have a land, then you can think about constructing an house. But without land, you cannot even think about constructing an house, right? And after that, what you will do, you will approach an architect or engineer. Okay. So you also do what? You also keep some budget plans. How much your budget, it is going to be. Third thing, very important thing, budget will play the crucial role, because depending upon the budget, you can think about how effectively the house can be constructed. Okay, and the fourth thing is what? You already think about what? Raw materials, like how much sand is required, how many containers of sand is required, how much gallons of water is required, okay, how many bags of cements are required, okay, how many counts of bricks are required, okay, how many tons of iron is required. So these are the raw materials that you think about, etc. Okay, and what are the remaining things? So you think about land, you think about architect, you think about raw materials, and also you think about what government approval. Okay, this is also mandatory because you cannot construct your house anywhere in the wasteland. Okay, you definitely need the government approval in order to avoid facing issues in the future. Okay, at last you will also think about what, how long it is going to take, time estimation. So this is one of the real-time analogy. If you ever have to construct an house, you think about all these things. Okay, land is important, architect is important, budget is important, right? And the raw materials and the approval from the government, and also time estimation. These are the important things. Apart from this, that you can add more things like something like, the miscellaneous things like plumbing and electricity. To the contract, to whom you can provide this contract to for the plumbing and for the electricity works. We should provide a contract, right, for the plumbing and electricity works. Like these many things you need to take care before even constructing an house. Okay, but if I ask you a question, everything apart from plumbing and electricity, land, architects. Okay, let me take this land and let me take this sand, water, cement, bricks, iron, etc. Okay, these two things are available by default to us. Okay, these two things are given to us by the nature. I can say that these two are the main raw materials to construct any house. Even if you want to construct a small house, even if you want to construct an apartment, even if you construct a big house, whatever the house is, even if you want to construct a big bungalow, right? So these are the raw materials for any house, even if it is small house, big house, whatever the house is. You cannot construct it, you cannot discover the house is getting discovered without using these raw materials. Okay sir, you are saying raw material cement is not available by to us by default, it is not available to buy. I'm talking about what the byproduct. Cement is the byproduct of what, limestone and clay. Okay, the byproducts are available to given to us by nature, right? They are available to us by default. Without these things you cannot create this thing. This thing will never happen without the raw material. Okay, after having this raw material, okay, these budget things are the you can calculate this thing in the mind, you can get the architect, okay, and you can get the approval. These are the secondary things. So this is the primary thing. So I can say that to construct a house, these are the very basic fundamentals. Or no? Without even this, I cannot even. Okay, you may paying more money for architect. You may having more budget. You may be getting contracts for plumbing and electricity works. Okay, you may be having acres of land, no issues, but you don't have raw materials. If you don't have raw materials, if you don't have fundamentals, possibility is not there, right? You cannot even think about constructing an house. Okay, likewise Java, when Java was developed, when Java was discovered, okay, the Java developers, the people who have invented Java, they have given some basic concepts. What are they? Java has provided what? They provided some concepts to the developers. You can also say them like programmers. Okay, by default Java people has given what? They have given some concept to the programmers by default to prepare any Java applications. So when I say to prepare any Java applications, this point, when I say to prepare any Java application, okay, so the Java application can be a small application, a little application, or a big banking application, right? Or a standalone application. Standalone application means application that is limited in your system. Something like calculator, something like notepad, something like a video game, or a big banking application like if you want to operate HDFC Bank or Axis Bank. Okay, you can develop big applications, you can also develop small applications. No matter, let us say that this is big application or enterprise application, EA, enterprise application. Let us say that this is standalone application. SA, standalone application. Let us say that this is web application. Whatever the application that you want to develop by using Java programming language, using Java programming language. Here also you are using Java programming language. Now I am talking about the size of the application. Talking about what? I'm talking about the size of the application. No matter what the size of the application is, you want to develop any application in the Java program, you need what? You need something by default. Java's provided something by default to the developers. Okay, so what is that something? We'll understand. Okay, now let us see. To prepare any application by default, by default. Okay, and what are they? They are called as Java fundamentals. Okay, it is categorized into 5 types. Five types. What are they? So if you want to develop small applications, for big applications, whatever the application size is, you need what? You need tokens. You will ask me what is tokens. You will understand each and everything in detail. Second thing, you need what? You need data types. So when I say data types, you are talking about the memory, like integer, float, double, things like that. Right? The third thing is what? You need typecasting. Okay? And the fourth thing is you need what? Java statements. Okay, and the fifth thing is what? Arrays. Fifth thing is what? Arrays. So these are the 5 basic things. It is just like a raw materials. So for constructing a house, we are using some raw materials now: sand, water, cement, bricks, and iron, etc. Like that, to construct any Java programming language, you need these basics. It is just like water, sand, cement, bricks, which is applicable for a house. For Java, these things are applicable. These 5 things are very, very important. Okay? You can develop an application just by using the notepad. By yourself, you can develop an application by using notepad. So now if you look at here, when I see budget, how this budget can be converted to the real time, how this analogy can be converted to the real time application for Java. Okay? Each and every project is going to have some budget estimation. Okay, I can convert it to like what? Project budget. Okay? So your company and your client, they are going to make a big deal about the project that you are going to develop, right? So they perform some analysis. So they talk about what? Project budget. Right? What is an architect? So here you talk about engineer. To construct a house, you are talking about engineer. But in a Java project, in a Java application, right? When things has to be discussed in Java application, this architect, they are nothing but they are called as what? They are called as managers. The people who are maintaining the leadership roles. Or else you can say them what? Project architect. Even in every Java software, whenever an application is being developed, okay, you find these literals inside the software company. Managers are very common. A project, there will be a person called project architect. He will take care of the design, high level design as well as what? Low level design. Okay, he will give this information to the client, how the project needs to be designed. Okay, there are two kinds of design: high level design and low level design. It's just giving the briefing about how the application is going to be in the future with the help of these two designs. Project architect will take care, or sometimes managers will take care. Right? What about the approval? Approval is nothing but you develop projects from bricks into bricks, guys, into small pieces. Okay, you develop some features and you add that features in the application, then you will perform testing, right? Then you will push it into the production. And likewise, in each and every month, each and every month, the project will be developed like big bricks and pieces. Small things you will add and you will test and you will integrate and you will push it to the production. Well, for each and every pushing, approval is required. Approval has to be required from the client side. So here the approval is all about what? Getting approval from the government to construct the building, right? If you're developing a future and if you want to push that code to the live, if you want to push that code to the live, we need to get approval from the client. So that approval, this analogy can be conveyed like this to the Java software. right? Time estimation. Even for house construction, there is a time estimation. For each and every functionality that you are developing, there will be a time period. There will be a time period even in the real-time project. You call this period and there will be meetings like scope cutoff. Scope cutoff is a period where you have to complete doing all the functionality so that it is ready to push into the production live. So they will conduct what scope cutoff meetings to meet the deadlines. They will give you one future, like let us say that the future is a developer, please add this a future within 15 days. Okay? What they are mentioning within 15 days. So this 15 days is all about what the time, the scope cutoff. Within 15 days, this future has to be developed, right? So they will perform the testing so that they will meet the deadlines. So we will see these things in detail. I'm just trying to convey this analogy in the real-time example. What about the land? Land, you're talking about what? The operating system. The operating system that you're working on. Right? What about this plumbing and electricity? So in everything, in every software, okay, there will be the front end. Front end means the things that you see in the computer. For example, let me see the moment I type Facebook, okay, this is the front end. You know why it says it looks like you are missing your not sure. This is the front end. You can enter your email address, you can enter your password here. You can click on login. After clicking on login, what are the things that will happen behind the scenes? The mapping will happen. So front end team will take care of this. Front end means the HTML team or JavaScript team, okay, React team, Angular team. Okay, what they do, they take care of this representation, the front end representation, right? The user interface, you call this as user interface, right? The user will do what? He will enter something like username. He will enter the password like 12345. It's given some data through the user interface by using the front end screen. Okay, we are the Java developers, we are backend developers, right? So these details will be mapped to the Java program. Let us say that I am taking a class Facebook. Okay, I'm taking two variables, string variable, username, UN is standing for username, and string variable, and PW stands for password. Okay, the username that is being entered in the front end will be collected by us. So we as a developers, we need to collect that. Balaji, the password that is being entered by the front end team will be collected by us 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so we are the backend people. Java is the backend people. This front end is all about what? HTML. Okay, these are the languages. I mean, this is script. Okay, HTML is a script. CSS, okay, and JavaScript. JavaScript is a language, scripting language. So they develop this by using these three languages: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, sometimes Angular. So these things are developed separately, and the backend team is developing the things separately, right? So there should be a collection, there should be a mapping, right? So somehow this needs to be mapped to this variable. Somehow there should be, we need to map this. Mapping means giving a connection. Somehow this data needs to be mapped here. Okay, we use a lot of tools to perform this integration. So this concept is called as what? Integrating. We call this as integration. Integrating the front end tools with the back end tools. You call this in the programmatically, you call this as what? The integration. Integrating two different tools. So this is the Java tool. When you are developing the backend, you are taking care of the backend part by using the Java tool. And there is a front end team, they are taking care of the front end user interface by using these tools. Combining the two tools to make it as one single application. That is called as what? Integration. Okay? So there should be some mapping that we will discuss while developing our first application. I will help you how to collect data, how can we use those data to perform the validation, authorization, authentication. That part we will take care in the future. Okay? So this part, if you look at this part, especially the mapping part, okay? This Balaji is being mapped to this variable, and this password is being mapped to this variable. Okay? So when you want to imagine this analogy, this is the analogy that you need to use: plumbing and electricity. So these things you don't see it actually, you don't visualize this, you just need to imagine this, because these things are already there, but you cannot see this in your house, right? It will be done inside the bricks. There is already a mapping, there is already a connection inside, right? Pipe connection, electricity connections to everywhere, right? You operate something from here, and it, the bulb that is placed outside will get what, will get glow. Making sense? Plumbing and electricity, the mapping part you're talking about, right? And time estimation, scope cutoff, and approval is something like you get approvals from the clients, right? Architect, and land is operating system. And the thing that we're talking, the basic thing that you're talking about: sand, water, cement, bricks, iron. We will this analogy can be understood with Java tokens, data types, typecasting, Java statements, and arrays. Basic things. If you understand these basic things, you can decently write some Java programs, right? Let us understand each and everything in detail. Are we good till now? Able to understand my analogy, what I'm trying to say? Yes, no? Everyone? Sudhir, Purnima,
Yes.
Lakshmi, Prasanna. Yeah. Now tokens, right?
Yes.
Now you focus here. This is very important, tokens. So when we are trying to understand Java token, I want you to understand, I want you to focus on this program. So Java people says, hey buddy, whatever you're writing in the code, everything is a token. What they are saying, you're writing a piece of code. Okay, what is a piece of code? Let us say that the piece of code is like, you're writing something like public, you're writing something like class, okay? Class, and you're writing something like A. So there is a class A. You have a class A, and inside this you're writing something like public static void main. That is what string array box. Okay. You have one class and you have one main method. Right, inside this main method, I want to place one instruction: system dot out dot println. I just want to print what? Hello. Right. So after doing this, what we typically do? So after writing this, first thing we will do is, I want to, I will ensure that, okay, my operating system needs to understand this as a Java code, not a English. Okay, for that, what I will do, I will save this with .java extension. Right? What file, what should be the class name? A.class, because the name of the class is declared with public access marker. So it should be A.class itself. Right? After this, the compiler will come into the picture. Now, if you see compiler will do what? It will just divide this code into several parts. Okay, it will take each and every keyword separately to perform the compilation. It will take public keyword separately. Okay, it will take the class keyword separately. It will take the variable name separately. Okay, whatever that you're giving it here, it will be, everything will be taken as a separate entity. But if you observe one thing here, the moment you give spaces, okay, the moment you give spaces, the words that are before and after spaces, they have some meaning. They have what? Some meaning. It is not like you cannot combine these two. Public static you cannot combine. Always there is a separator in the form of space. Public is a separate thing, static is a separate thing. So when you are separating everything with spaces, it means, the space separator is saying that each and every word has a special meaning. Static has a special meaning. I am copying like this. Okay. Compiler will take what? Each and every word. Each and every word, like public. Okay, let us take all these three. Okay. It will take each and every word, and it will do what kind of action? It will try to perform the compilation by taking each and every word. For the compiler, even this opening braces and the closing braces is also a token. It's also a kind of token. even these closing braces, opening braces, everything. Okay, compiler will separate all the keywords and it will start performing the compiler. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, here the Java compiler, let me write it here. The Java compiler is doing what? Is breaking each and every word. Breaking each and every word and of every line of code into separate. Okay, here the Java compiler is breaking each and every line of code, not word. Each and every line of code into separate words with this space as a limiter, delimiter. Okay, how it is going to identify, okay, each and every words are separate with the help of spaces. Okay, if you keep one space, it means the compiler will understand this public is a separate entity and this class is a separate entity, and there is also a space here. The compiler will understand, okay, this class is a separate entity and this A is a separate entity. Wherever it is finding spaces, it will able to identify, recognize each and every word as a keyword. After recognizing this, it will compare all these as per the compilation rules. Right? So before that, after what did I just say? Here the Java compiler is breaking each and every line of code into separate words with the space as a delimiter. Okay, and each and every word or symbols is called as token. Each and every word or symbols that is being shown is called as what? Tokens. Okay, so you call this as token. And also what they are saying, the token is the, okay, the Java token is the smallest element in the Java, which is also called as, is also known as Lexemes. Okay, don't break your head in understanding this. What I'm trying to say is, you will write a piece of code, okay, by using this space as a delimiter. You are keeping spaces, okay. So this is how the compiler is identifying with the help of spaces that each and every word is a different word, each and every word is a different keyword. Right? After doing this identification, okay, the word that is being separated, public is one word, right, and class is one word, and A is one of the word, main is one word. You can call it as a keyword, you can call it as a symbol, whatever you want. Each and everything will be recognized as a separate entity. Okay, this each and everything is going to be called as what? They are called as tokens. You call this combinedly as what? Tokens. Okay, and also they are saying that if you take any one of the I'm saying that everything is a token here. So collectively I can call everything as what? Tokens, right? Tokens. If I take only one token, if I let us say that if I take this as a token, if I take this opening parenthesis as a token, okay? Or if I take public as a token, okay? Each and every token is a smallest unit. This is also called as what? Lexeme. They are saying this is also called as Lexeme. So why this understanding is required? First of all, understand. Okay? You cannot say, so there is a lot of difference between class A, class A. What is the difference? If you keep class A without any spaces, it is a compilation error, because class is a keyword, and A is the user defined name. When you are using the class keyword, there should be a space. When you are giving a space, now it is giving two tokens. It is giving two tokens. One is the name of the class, and second one is the class keyword. Second one is the name of the class. So which is deciding that? The space is deciding that. The space is created. So with the help of spaces, compiler will identify all the tokens. Okay, then it will check, okay, if each and every token is properly written or properly formatted or not, if it is case sensitive, if it is following the case sensitive rules or not. What is case sensitive rules? Everything has to be in lowercase letter for all the keywords. Okay, everything. It will check each, and compilation will be performed on each and every Java tokens. These things are collectively called as token, and each and every token is also called as what? Lexeme. right? Let me bring a different thing. Now you see guys, we have discussed there are 751 keywords in Java. In our previous classes somewhere we have discussed about there are keywords in Java, totaling there are 51 keywords. If I ask you, there is a keyword like integer is int is a keyword, break is a keyword, and for is also a keyword, right? But take these three keywords. One is int keyword, second one is a break keyword, third one is for keyword. They are separately called as what? I mean, they're separately called as keywords. So this collection of these three words, okay, there is int word, there is break word, there is for word. Or the collection of these three words is called as what? The keywords. Okay, this collection of these three words are falling under one category, which is called as Java keywords. Okay, that one category is called as what? Tokens. Hold here. Let me give another example. There are operators like plus operator, minus operator, multiplication operator, and division operator. These operators are going to perform what? Arithmetic operation. Okay, so if I take this as separately, okay, collection of these operators, I can call them as what? Collection of all these four operators is called as what? Operators. Collection of these four symbols are called as what? Operators. Plus, minus, multiplication, division, they are collectively called as operators. Okay, and this operator is collection of individual operator, and this is called also called as what? Tokens. So here tokens, when I say tokens, we are talking about the same type. So this integer, break, and for, they are part of Java keywords. They are collectively called as Java keywords. You can call them as tokens. You can also call them as what? This is one kind of tokens. One kind of tokens. And also the symbols, plus symbol, minus symbol, multiplication, division, collectively they are called as Java operators. You can also call them as what? Java tokens. This is one kind of token and this is another kind of token. Okay, so they are saying each and every category is a token. They are saying collection, each and every collection of same type is called as token. They are saying. Okay, and if I ask you, combinedly, if I take integer, break, for, keyword, and for combination of keywords and operators, if I ask you how many tokens are here, you should be answering, sir, I can identify two tokens here. What is the first token? First tokens are collection of keywords. Second, what is the second token? Second tokens are collection of operators. So you are recognizing this, right? You are able to recognize. You are able to collect these things collectively. You are collecting thing. You are also saying it as a token, but they are of different types. These tokens are of keywords type, and these tokens are falling under operators type. Right? Like this, Java is giving how many tokens? Java is giving 6 tokens. Okay? You have keywords, you have operators. Third one is what? You have identifiers. Okay? Fourth one is what? Fourth one is you have literals. Okay? Fifth one is you have what happened?
Your screen is struck, I think.
I think for everyone it is visible. I think so. There you can just check your internet connection. For everyone it is visible or is it struck?
Yes.
Visible, no? Yeah. Or
Yes.
rejoin Sudhir. Okay. So how many types of tokens are there? 6 types. You have keywords, you have operators, you have identifiers, right? You have literals, you have separators, okay, and you have what? You have comments. Right? Now the quick question is like, now you listen to this question, you will understand clearly. The question is like, you knocked out of the meeting room, please rejoin. The class is going to be for only 5 more minutes. Find the number of Lexemes and tokens the following code or in the following expression. Okay, I am taking a simple expression. Okay, integer a equal to b plus c into If I have asked you this question, okay, let me give some spaces here. Now you focus here. Now your job is to identify, okay, you need to identify each and everything. Okay, Sarah has given something like int here. Okay, int is in Java, int is part of Java keywords. Int is part of what? Int is part of Java keywords. So I can place int under Java keywords. You remember, right? I have given 51 list of Java keywords in our previous classes. Int is one of the keywords, I can say. Okay. And next, what you will do? Next, you will identify this. Identify like there is something like A, something like B, C, and D. Right? These A, B, C, and D is what they are also called as what? Identifiers. So you can give your own names. I have given A. You want, you can give X, Y, Z, whatever is it. You can give any other name. You are identifying the complete expression with your own user defined names. So this expression is going to get evaluated to give a single answer, B plus C into D. Okay, you can give any other name. Instead of B, you can give what? You can give Balaji. Instead of C, you can give Chandu. Instead of D, you can give what? Dinesh. Any user defined name. This gets evaluated to give you the single result. So these are the user defined things. So I can say that this A, B, C, D, they are called as identifiers. Okay? They're called as what? They're called as identifiers. Identifiers. Well, what is the last one? Okay, these things. You have equal to symbol. It is an operator. Plus, it is an operator, right? And you have multiplication. It is also an operator, right? So they perform mathematical operations, right? Symbolically, they represent operations. You can perform arithmetic operations, and you can assign these evaluated results by using the assignment operator. Equal to is also just like an arithmetic operator. You will perform assignment. Assignment means assigning the resultant value to a single variable. Assigning this expression to a single variable. Right? So all these things will come under one category. They are called as what? Equal to, comma, it plus, comma, multiplication. I can place them under operators. Okay, the last one, you can identify this what? You can identify this as a separator, because this is a kind of a termination statement. It means you are saying that you can say it as a separator or a special symbol. What does it represent in Java? It means okay, the line is going to end. It is a termination of this expression. In Java, you call this as what? Separator. Okay. The last one, semicolon, is called as what? In Java, we call it as what? Separator. Right? So if I ask you, you have found what? You have found one Java, one group Java keywords. You have found another group which is also called as token identifiers, operators, and separators. Okay. How many tokens are there in the following expression? If that is the question, the answer is very simple. No, there are 4 tokens, isn't it? There are only 4 tokens. What are they? One, collection of Java keywords is called as, it will be under one category, Java tokens. Collection of identifiers, it is under one category, Java tokens. Collection of operators, one category, Java tokens. There is only one separator. That separator is also called as what? Java token. So there are 4 Java tokens in this example. How many lexemes are there? 4 Java. Okay, guys, my screen is visible, I think. So what I was saying, you can identify 4 tokens, okay? Because each and every word is identified as a separate entity, right? So there are 4 tokens. So what is the other question? Find how many number of Lexemes are here. How many number of Lexemes are here? So when I ask you about the Lexemes, just count this. Count each and every word. Int is one word, A is another word, equal to, and you have equal to, you have B, you have plus, you have plus operator, you have C, you have a multiplication operator, you have D, and you have what? You have semicolon. Each and everything will be treated as a lexeme, smallest unit. Each and everything is treated as a lexeme in Java. Each and every word, each and every keyword or operator or separator or identifier will be treated as a lexeme. So how many lexemes are there? 9 lexemes. Can I say? 9 lexemes. Now you understand lexeme is a smallest unit. If now you can understand this. The Java token is what is it? The Java token is the smallest element in the Java, which is also known as lexeme. Combinedly, you call this as tokens, right? So when you talk about the single entity, it is called as what? Each and every single entity is called as a lexeme. So this is one lexeme, this is another lexeme, this is another lexeme, this is another lexeme. Okay, this plus operator is another lexeme, the C is another lexeme, this multiplication is another lexeme, D is another lexeme, and this separator is another lexeme. So when I ask you number of lexemes, there are 9 lexemes. But when I ask you number of tokens, okay, first you need to do the categorization. You need to categorize the things, each and everything you need to categorize. Each and every lexeme has to be placed in a different categorization. Okay, after categorizing these things, then you will get to know about how many tokens are there. So there are only 6 kind of tokens. You categorize things according to keywords, according to operators, according to identifiers, according to literals. We will see these things according to separators, according to comments. Okay, now if I ask you, hey guys, can you tell me how many tokens and how many lexemes are there? Okay, this is the simple question. Okay, I am taking public, taking static, okay, I am taking void, I am taking int, it equal to int sub, means int add equal to a plus. Okay, now you tell me how many tokens are there, how many lexemes are there? Can someone tell me? Type in the chat box. Very simple question. Lexeme means just counting each and every word, including symbols, including equal to everyone. You need to identify how many tokens are there. Any count you can give, or should I tell you this once again? Anyone? Is there anyone who can give count for this? Let me show the screen for you once again. I'm asking you how many lexemes are there, how many tokens are there? Very simple question. Any answers? No answers, sir. What guys? Very simple, no? Just count now how many lexemes. Public is one lexeme. You are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, and addition 5, add 5, equal to operator 6, and this is 7, this is 8, and this B is
10
9.
lexemes.
10 lexemes.
10 lexemes.
Very simple. Now, how many tokens are there?
Tokens.
When you ask about tokens, okay, don't get any confusions, right? Just take categories here. You have said 10 lexemes.
Add all these.
Let us categorize this. I am taking one bucket. Okay, I want to keep this public. Public is part of Java keyword. Okay, static is also part of Java keyword. Okay, and void is also part of Java keyword. If you look at those 51 keywords, you will find all this. Int is also Java keyword. Okay, let me take another bucket. Okay, another bucket. Okay, this add is user defined thing. This add is something like what? It is given by users. Right? You can give any meaningful name. Add is an identifier. Okay, this A is also an identifier, isn't it? Okay, and this B is also an identifier. Okay, I can say that these are the keywords, collection of keywords. I have found some collection of keywords. Okay, this is one token. Okay, I have found a collection of identifiers. This is another token. What is left? Let me take another bucket. Okay, I need to, this is an operator. Equal to is an operator to perform arithmetic operation. Plus is an operator to perform arithmetic model. So these two fall under one category called as what? Operators. Okay, what is the last remaining thing? Separator. Semicolon is called as in Java. You call the semicolon as what? Let me take another big bucket and you place this what? Place this here. Okay, this is called as what? Separator. If I ask you how many tokens are there, what is the count of the buckets? This is one collection. This is second collection. This is third collection. This is fourth collection. Four tokens and 10 lexemes. Able to understand? Everyone? No. Teja, tokens are talks about collections. Teja, collection of lexemes, collection of individual lexemes that can be placed under one category. Okay, this is one collection, one token. This is another collection, another token, like that. There are only 4 tokens. Okay. So why these things are important? These things are important to write a simple Java code. These things you need to follow. You need to understand what are lexemes. You need to understand what are tokens. Now I can write. Having said this, I can simply write, right? I can simply write like lexemes are the smallest individual element that can be identified as a word or symbol the Java programming language. Any smallest thing, if you find something with the spaces, that is going to give you as, you can identify that as one lexeme. Okay. Second thing, when the group of lexemes are separated and placed under one category. You are able to place all the group of lexemes separately, and you could able to place them under one category. Okay, we call it as token. So they are under one token. They are under second token. Totally, there are how many types of token? There are 6 types of Java tokens. Okay. So the tokens are the concepts of what? One of the concepts of the tokens are one of the concepts of Java fundamentals. If I ask you tomorrow what is a lexeme and what is a token, you should be in a position to identify this. Okay, this identification is required to understand the simple Java codes and to ensure that you are not making any syntactical errors and any semantic errors. Making sense? And you might be thinking, so what is the semicolon always? You are placing the semicolon always. Okay, the semicolon, when you are placing any expression or any instruction in Java programming language, you want to terminate that instruction. Any line, if you are placing any line in the Java language, you will terminate that line by using this instruction. Example, okay, you don't use this semicolon for classes. You are creating a class. There is a class block. Okay, whenever you are finding a body, for body you don't use semicolons. You don't terminate the body. You don't terminate the body with semicolon. And also for method, public static void main. So this is the main method, right? For main method, again there is a body, opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis. You don't terminate this with a semicolon. You don't do that. You cannot do that. Okay, then there is some arguments like string array aux. But where you will be using, if you are writing any statements like, okay, integer a equal to 100. Okay, so this is a single statement. So this is not a method. This is not a class. So this is a variable name. You are using an expression. You are assigning a value. For this, there should be termination. You should use semicolon to terminate this. Likewise, we are using something like system.out.println. Okay, you want to print something all over. Okay, this is a single line statement. You call this a single line statement, right? So there should be a semicolon. For method bodies, for class bodies, you don't use this termination. Only for the instructions that are you're going to place inside a method. For those things, you will use terminations. You don't use terminations for the class body and for the method body. For every remaining thing, this is mandatory. Termination is mandatory. This will be identified as a token. And also, you are placing some comments, right? You're placing some comments. Let me say my main method. Okay, so this complete command will be identified as what? Token. Okay, that we will see the future classes. Okay, now if I ask you how many tokens are there, now you are in a position to say there are 6 tokens, keywords and operators, identifiers, literals. Okay, we will see these literals in detail, right? So we don't need to worry about separators. You know what is a separator now. Comments we have already discussed. Again, we will discuss this in the future topic, right? And keywords, so we do not have to discuss about these things once again. So just started Java fundamentals, and tomorrow after completing this we will start these data types. Okay, this understanding these data types we should give a lot of priority to understand this data type. I will take two classes for each and every. For byte data type I will take 2 classes. Okay, we will see each and every data type in detail. Okay, after we will have typecasting, then Java statements, after arrays. After completing all these 5 things, I will give you some Java programs. You can practice that. You can start writing some decent Java codes. So basic Java codes you can write on your own after completing these 5 things. Okay, so do you have any questions for me? You can